Hi, I'm Jennifer and welcome to my kitchen. Would you like something to drink? Let's see what we have. How about some orange juice? Would you care for some? Personally, I prefer to drink orange juice only at breakfast, so maybe you'd rather have something else. We have other juices. We have some cranberry or white grape juice. Which would you rather have? Or maybe you don't want either. Would you rather have a hot drink? My husband and I prefer tea to coffee, so we usually have tea in the house. Let's see, right now we have some Earl Grey and some black tea that he brought back from Russia. Which would you prefer? Well, maybe you don't want either, but that's because it's not really time for drinks or snacks, perhaps later. Actually, it's time to talk about English, so let's go to the board. Please excuse the mess. Now, if you were listening closely to how I was talking, I used the same expressions a number of times. Prefer, and would rather. Students sometimes confuse these expressions, so I want to talk about them to help clear up any misunderstanding. One way to talk about their differences is about meaning. For example, I said, I prefer to drink orange juice only at breakfast. I'm talking about what I like in general. But when I used the expressions would prefer or would rather, I was talking about a specific choice. There's a particular situation in the kitchen when I said, would you prefer cranberry juice or white grape juice? Or would you rather have a hot drink? You were being given a specific choice. So again, one way to separate them is to talk about their meanings. We tend to use prefer to speak generally about likes, dislikes, what we want, and then these two expressions to be a little more specific. Another way to look at them is to look at their form. Prefer and would prefer take forms that are different from would rather. Let's think back to what I said there in the kitchen. I said things like, I prefer to drink orange juice. Or, would you prefer drinking tea or coffee? Well, perhaps I didn't say that exactly, but good example of what other forms can follow, prefer, would prefer. If you use a verb, you can use to drink, drinking, infinitive or gerund, the ing. We could also use a noun. For example, would you prefer tea or coffee? Okay. Down here, would rather, we cannot use the infinitive or gerund, we have to use the base verb. I'd rather have coffee, please. I'd rather drink orange juice. So, again, to summarize, would prefer and prefer can be followed by the infinitive, the gerund, or a noun, a pronoun, of course. And would rather is going to take the base verb. Got it? Okay. So let's see if you do understand. I'm going to take these off. And I think I'm going to quiz you. Let's try it this way. Let me make some questions with would you prefer da-da-da and would you rather? And I have some endings to these questions, and you tell me where they go. Taking a nap or going for a walk? ing, ing. It's a gerund, so we only have one choice. The question's going to have to be, would you prefer taking a nap or going for a walk? Let's get that on a little straighter. How about this one? To play chess or a game of cards? To play, infinitive. Only one choice up here. Would you prefer to play chess or a game of cards? One more. Watch a talk show or a movie. Watch, base verb. So where does it go? Down here. And a last one for you to think about. A trip to Australia or a cruise to Alaska? It's a noun, so the question has to be with would you prefer. So we have 4 questions. Would you prefer taking a nap or going for a walk? Would you prefer to play chess or a game of cards? Would you prefer a trip to Australia or a cruise to Alaska? Did you notice that if I am giving a choice, it's gerund, noun. Here, though, I have the same verb, so I don't really have to repeat it 2 times. Play chess or play a game of cards. And our question down here, would you rather watch a talk show or a movie? You know, if you have a friend who also wants to practice these expressions, it would be a great time to pause right now, ask each other the questions, and practice giving the answers. Okay, so we've talked about the difference in meaning, we've talked about the difference in form. The last thing I want to point out to you is how we use these 2 particular expressions to name the choice. I said we use would prefer, would rather to give a specific choice. We use them in a particular situation. Notice that if I am giving you a choice, of course we have the choice presented as or, okay? And in my answer, we're going to use different prepositions. Would you prefer taking a nap or going for a walk? Let's take this off. Well, I'll tell you, I've already had a nap today, so I don't want to sleep anymore. I would, or you could simply say I'd, which is a bit more natural in conversation. And this is the truth. I'd prefer, whoops, I forgot my little article there. I'd prefer a walk to a nap. There's my choice, and I gave you my answer. I'd prefer a walk to a nap. Could also say I'd prefer taking a walk to going, or taking a walk to taking a nap, going for a walk to taking a nap. And with would rather, would you rather watch a talk show or a movie? Well, let's think about that. Personally, I don't want a talk show. I think it would be fun to go out to the movie theater and see something new. So let me answer that by saying, I would rather, again a bit more natural would be I'd rather talk show or movie? I choose the movie. I'd rather see a movie than watch TV. I didn't use to, I used than. Got it? So when you do practice those questions with a friend and give your answers, if you give a full answer and name the choice, remember that would prefer you answer with to, and would rather you answer with than. Okay? Last tip I'm going to share with you. Would rather in the negative form is I'd rather not. she'd rather not, we'd rather not, you'd rather not. I like using this as a polite way to say no. If someone says, hey, you want to go to the movies tonight? Oh, thanks. I'd rather not. Okay? So, nice way to say polite no is, I'd rather not. I hope all of this was helpful. And if you have other questions or a request for a different topic, send it to me by email. My email address is englishwithjennifer@gmail.com.